We are into the semi-finals of the Europa League, a historic win. Probably, if you are one of the younger fans who watch Man United, that certainly could be the best game you have ever watched as a Man United fan. I've seen so many comebacks over the years, but this is right up there with 1999, up there with us winning against City, with Michael Owen scoring the winner, up there with Ahmad scoring against Liverpool. These moments is what Man United is built upon. I keep wanting to just say that we are in the semi-finals and we need to be focused because Athletic Bilbao is our next opponents and they are certainly a much tougher opposition than Leon were. I don't even care that Leon scored 4 goals because of the way we came back to win the game. True character, true grit and desire. Absolutely beautiful to watch. That is what we expect from our team every single game. Not just when the going gets tough, but every single game. Maguire again being that hero that he can be. You could see Amorim put him, right up front for the last few minutes, and it worked. If we just did that from the beginning of the second half after being 2-0 ahead, because in the first half we played quite well. We got the goals that we deserved, and we certainly kept Leon quiet. But it's as if in the second half we decided to drop off, drop back, try and play on the counter, and that is when we gave Leon the courage that they needed to go and score the 4 goals that they did. I don't care about those 4 goals. It happened, it went in, they scored, and you can debate about who's at fault, who should have done better, what the ref should have done, etc. It doesn't matter. It's knockout football. All that matters is winning the game when that final whistle blows, or in penalties if it had to go to that. We definitely showed that we can go on to win the Europa League if we play with this mentality. Because I am certain that Athletic Bilbao will have looked at that game and have seen, oh, even when they concede, they still have the confidence to keep pushing on. And of course, we played at Old Trafford. That counts for so much. That gives the players more confidence. I don't think we would have played with that intensity if the second leg was in Lyon. Maybe we would have, I'm not sure, but the environment would not have been the same. Amorim certainly didn't have many changes to make, brought on Mainu and Mount, and Mainu impacted the game with the goal that he scored and the way he played as a false nine because Hoyland again did absolutely nothing. And of course, you can question Garnacho in not passing to him and the players not crossing the ball into the box for when he is there. But he still struggles to get into the right positions and struggles to get or make opportunities for himself. And with him being the only fit striker that we have, especially for the Europa League, it is a massive, massive problem that needs to be rectified and resolved. Ugarte opened the scoring with excellent play starting from Mazraoui, playing a ball to Bruno. He plays it to Garnacho, who did a wonderful touch to make space for himself, and he crossed it for Ugarte. The second goal, and for me, Delo didn't have a great performance, but he scored a goal, which is, always welcomed and always will be celebrated. Another great ball over the top, and he basically receives it, controls it well, and finishes into the corner. At that point, we basically were in full control of the game. We were quite comfortable in the game as well, and we should have done the exact same thing in the second half, but we didn't. And that is why, as I said, Leon basically got the courage that they needed and started pressing us higher, started pushing up higher up the field. And we were supposed to play on the counter attack, but we could barely spring 2 or 3 passes together in that second half. And it's mainly due to having the midfielders like Casemiro and Ugarte, who are not ball playing midfielders. But it changed when Bruno went into the midfield next to Casemiro after Ugarte got taken off. Eriksen and then went to play higher up the pitch. Mount was also there, and again, Mount didn't offer us anything basically going forward. I expected more from him, but all I saw was basically just running around, working hard, making tackles, etc. But there wasn't an impact in the final third, which is what I expected from him. And that's a problem because now that he's back and he's fit and he's getting game time, I would have expected him to do more, but he still plays with that same mediocre type of performance where he just does the bare minimum to I don't know, do something, but it doesn't impact the game the way it needs to be. So I'm glad we are through to the Europa League semi-finals because at 4-2, after Lacazette scored that penalty, we basically were dead and buried. I, for one, certainly looked at the game and I said, we ain't scoring 2 goals to go to penalties, let alone 3. But I was wrong. And it shows the never say die attitude of Man United. The tifo that was in the stadium literally said, never gonna stop, which means we are not gonna stop. You can say people are putting our names on the trophy because that was a game that certainly must give you the confidence to go and want to win the Europa League. We didn't play a great game throughout the entire 120 minutes, but we certainly did score when we needed to. We showed a clinical edge, something that we have been lacking the entire season. And for some reason in the Europa League, we are still the only unbeaten team in Europe. Forget about the Champions League. We are the only unbeaten team in Europe. That is for all the teams that are still in Europe. And that's the Conference League, that's the Europa League, and the Champions League. We are still the only team that remains unbeaten. That shows you how strong our defense can be. And it's good to know that Luke Shaw is coming back. Again, when he came on, he had a decent performance. Having him back fit is definitely a boost for us for the semi-final games and most likely the final, should we get there. Ahmad also hinting that he is returning soon. We saw him training on grass. So him being back also in the team for the semi-final basically will be a massive boost. And Matthias de Ligt also, Amorim did say he will be back before the end of the season. So we will have a much stronger team and a squad than what we had against Lyon for Athletic Bilbao. So you can look at the game with confidence. You can look at the Athletic Bilbao game and be excited for it because we again still in Europe. We still have the opportunity to go and win the Europa League and get Champions League. And we can do it. Because coming down from 2 goals in the last 7 minutes of extra time in a game, that shows that we can and we should be winning the teams we are playing against. Because we have the players, we just needed to apply the mentality and apply that determination like we did in those final minutes. And that is why we won the game. Because the mentality and the desire was to go and win at all costs, like I said. But celebrated, I'm excited. We are into the semi-finals of the Europa League. And that is only truly testament to the way the players put everything into the game against Lyon. And Amorim certainly being the man that can take us to the Europa League final and most likely potentially win it. But thank you for joining me. Drop a like. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that excellent and historic win against Lyon. Till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.